because I was like, it's 6:30. Technically, I could wear mine. But Emmerich right. A lot of things have been changing. And first, let me congratulate the people who capped. If you notice, we got a lot of new faces that are capped this year. And every time they get up and speak, they always reference the group they're running with. And if you start tracking the group, you'll notice that slowly but surely, whoever's in their little group starts capping. So if you're not in a group, if you're not plugged in to a group of coworkers, it doesn't have to be a team, but just a group of people around you who are doing things, who are moving forward, who are talking positively, I highly recommend that you find some other like-minded people in this space and utilize it, because we're seeing over the last 10 years, unlike any other year, little pockets are emerging. And so congratulations for everyone. My name's Jason Fenwick. For those of you guys who don't know me, I was thinking as I introduced the LLC, I'm chairperson of nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm Emmerich and Pat's third partner, not so silent partner anymore. We're going to fix that. I'm going to go back to being silent. I came up here to talk to you about development in Prince George's County. We're going to do this every single month. Last month, 26 people asked me in the last 30 days, hey Jason, what is across the street? Now, some of you guys have heard this, but I'm going to give you the quick rundown. I'm not a realtor, never been a realtor, probably will never be a realtor, but 26 of my licensed experts in real estate ask me what's going on right across the street. As if it's my job to know that. As if I'm the one who gets paid commission on that. So so no one knew, and no one could figure it out, so I went to this exclusive website, Google, and I typed in on my phone, as I was walking out to my car, I typed in on my phone, construction at the corner of Arena Drive and Locksburg Road, this highly technical search. And it returned to me exactly what it is, which is 318 units above 26 or 27,000 square feet of retail. That's what's going in that hole. For those of you I previously had said, oh, it's the hospital, I was running and wasn't focusing, and if someone finally said, no, across there, and I said, oh, okay, let me find that out. But my point was this. The Bible says if you give a person a fish, they eat for a day. If you teach them to fish, they eat forever. And their children will learn to eat and figure out how to fish, so you can affect the generations. And that's what the business mastermind classes that we're trying to do, and all the other classes we're trying to do. We're trying to teach you how to fish so that that day comes when you have a question and one of us or one of the people you see standing up here isn't here, you're equipped to advance your own business. And so, the reason I gave you that story is those 26 individuals, as well as the other 300, could have found out the exact same thing the minute they had that question without waiting to ask someone else. And more importantly, your clients are expecting you to know that type of information. If you don't know what's going on with the real estate in Prince George's County, why will they continue to come to us? Does that make sense? Yeah. So when you see the orange signs that say, for those of you who aren't familiar, there's an orange sign whenever there's going to be a development. It says hearing. Yeah. You can go pull all of that information off the PG Planning website or Maryland National Park Planning. Everything, the schematics, all the applications, everything to find out who, what, when, where, why, and how. And it's free. I see Lorraine. Where's Zena? Is Zena not here? Zena, you here?
She's not here.
Stand on up, Lorraine. Give Lorraine a hand. They did something exceptional in this regard that I've been mentioning, which is they went down to the planning department and said, I'm interested in this, and they threw more information at them than they could handle, and they came back with a book this thick on a little tiny area, Largo, as it just was happening in Largo. All this information's out there, and it's free. But here's the secret. They've kept it hidden from us, because the people who make generational wealth said, we're going to hide this in a labyrinth of books, because nobody will ever read it. And those that simply just go to the meetings, planning meetings, stop and look at those orange signs and say, I wonder what they're putting here. And more importantly, I wonder what the effect of them putting it there. So let's look across the street. No one drops 300 plus apartments in any random area. That means they have plans for this area. More importantly, if you put 318 apartments there, what do you think comes after the apartments? One of condos? Where are those people going to live after they're done living in an apartment and they get married or have a baby? That's 318 new customers we have right across the street. And more importantly, it signals that, again, Prince George's County's growth is moving in the right direction, which is something you want to mention to your clients. The other thing is it signals something that's already been happening, which is they've been developing all around our metro stations. And for those of you who are new to the area or don't know, Prince George's County just happens to have the most metro stations in it of any jurisdiction in the Washington, D.C. area, and we have plenty left to develop. They're not only going to put apartments, they're going to put townhouses, condos, commercials, houses, etc. And so there's a tremendous amount of opportunity here for everyone in this room, but we have to be knowledgeable about it in order to go about doing it. Part of my research, which I'm going to go through, also led me to the Prince George's County newsletter, an independent bi-weekly newsletter on real estate development. Anyone seen this who wasn't in one of my classes? All right, we got 1 out of 75. This details everything that's happening in the county, and it's free. All you got to do is look for it. So, just to give you some, just so you know, I'm just going to run through some of the things. Cindy, I don't think we told Pat and Emmerich, wherever Cindy is, but I have a new billboard, what do you call those boards where you can, Jason's Corner. So when I see this type stuff, I'm going to stick it right up there. You're welcome to look at it. All I ask is if you look at it and make a copy of it, just put it right back up there for everyone else. And so we're going to try and just stick this stuff up there throughout the month. Also, if you find something, Pamela, where's Pamela at? Thank you, Pamela. Pamela gave me 3 sites make the short list for the new FBI headquarters. Has everyone read this? Okay. When you get it, you can stick it right up there. This is for y'all. We want to get you as much information. So, some of the headlines for Prince George's County. I told you guys before, Prince George's County is on the move. The time to figure out what's going on is before they dig in the dirt. Once they start digging in the dirt, we don't want our customers saying to our realtors, hey, what's going on over there? And you're like, I don't know. We want you to know in advance. And then when you know in advance, we want you to approach those developers to see if there's business there for you. Everyone knows there's low inventory, so some of the stuff I'm about to talk about, you may just in the back of your head, keep it in the back of your head so that you realize, hey, there's inventory coming online in different classifications. First, Prince George's County has 2 of the 3 sites in the short list for the FBI headquarters, which, if I recall correctly, is going to be about 50 acres and about, I can't remember if it's 11 or 22,000 employees coming to the jurisdiction that it gets awarded. Quick question, when 22,000 employees come, what do they need?
Place to stand.
And commercial. And that's an opportunity to talk to your dentist and say, hey, have you thought of, because that's 22,000 sets of teeth with good insurance. No, this is how you do business. I say, hey, have you considered opening an office over here? That's a simple conversation, gets you a referral to commercial. Have you considered, there are going to be 22,000 people sitting over there. Maybe you want to get an office over there. When we have the new hospital coming, just ask your dentist, your doctor. So the 3 sites, the 2 that are here are Greenbelt and Landover. I'm personally betting on Greenbelt. Landover came from nowhere, and I think the learners are just making a play to make their land valuable and put it back on the map. But I think they're different issues. I think they're going to end up going with Greenbelt. Greenbelt has a federal courthouse sitting there, so the FBI could literally walk out their door, walk across the street, get a warrant, secret warrant, walk back across. It's up in the cut. They got the metros, and they have metro station. They have plenty of woods around it to cover whatever they want to do, as well as develop as they want to. And so that's been my top pick for the last, I don't know, year to 18 months since they announced it. And it continues. So be on the lookout for that. because that's going to be a lot of people. Who here knows someone who's in the FBI? All right. Wow. Wait, raise the hands again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think. Now's the time to do the Timmy Tope. That's what we're going to call it. Pick up the phone and call. And just keep in contact with them. Start going to their barbecues. Maybe they want to move. And I call that the Timmy Tope because she brought back to life our power hour, which we're thankful for. So here's some of the things that are going on. This is interesting. The Chesapeake Lighthouse Foundation runs charter schools. Didn't know that. They're doubling the amount of schools they have in Prince George's County. And so they just bought 2 new sites, one on Landover Road, Bright Seat Road, and the other one is, I can't tell in a quick glance, but it'll be up here. The Maryland Book Exchange, you know that, over on Route 1, just got sold for $14 million. They're going to build a new student housing project privately, not the university, right across from the entrance. 283 units is in the process of being approved. College Park has just lined up another $10 million worth of apartments. They're building a new 157-room hotel. In case you guys haven't figured out, they're getting rid of all that junk on Route 1. So all these growth corridors, they're cleaning up and changing around. Marlboro Riding, they've got 153 lots that are going to come online. Caruso Homes has started sales at Bell Oak Estates. That's in Accokeek with 36 lots. They've gotten the approval. Average price or base price is $366. For the commercial guys, the DoD Missile Defense Agency and the Washington Headquarters Services has decided to stay here in Landover for another 5 years. We have, if you go around the Beltway and you look at the map, when you get to Prince George's, when it comes to commercial leases for the federal government, it gets sparse quickly compared to our neighbors. And so with all the advent of all of this I believe is the beginning of a surge to come out here because it makes sense geographically. We have the best place geography for the sensitive missions that people are doing. We have a 60-unit apartment building that's coming up in District Heights, the Rochelle Hall unit. In case commercial's looking, Chase and Basico, which is a Greenbelt firm, is looking for 20,000 square feet. This is the type of information that's here. They're moving their office, they need 20,000 square feet. Problem is they're already represented. That's why we need to get in at the beginning. 193 units on Branch Avenue near the Metro were just sold. 193 apartment units. Transon is auctioning a 333-acre tract of, the auction already occurred in April in Clinton. They also have 156 lots that have been approved there. Exeter Group just paid just shy of $10 million for Safeway's Landover warehouse. Anyone heard of TIA-CREF, the teachers union? They're looking to fill 360,000 square feet. They just bought 1811 Cabin Branch Road, or the Landover Logistics Center. This is some of the information. For those of you who like to eat chicken, Chick-fil-A is looking to open another spot on East-West Highways. There's a 120-unit senior rental apartment that just went through zoning on just shy of 5 acres in District Heights on Brooks Drive. I'm not going to go through this, but if you're wondering, we have a very limited amount of inventory. Right here, it gives you by neighborhood the building permits that have been issued, so you can look and say, hey, I have someone who's interested in Fairwood. They just approved 5 new homes, to go through and be built. You can go neighborhood by neighborhood, builder by builder. Walmart's going to build a 100,000 square foot store, which is a super Walmart at the corner of intersection of Oxon Hill Road and Clipper Way in Oxon Hill. For anyone who's in Oxon Hill, for anyone who's in Glendale, They're putting a super Walmart at the corner of 450 and, what's that road?
197.
No, right, coming up, Glendale Road. Site plans approved, the Conifer Village at Oakcrest, 120 affordable senior rentals. That's 120 people who got to sell their homes before they go into rentals. This is why I'm trying to connect it back to what you guys do. Some of you might be sitting there like, well, what's Walmart got to do with selling residential real estate? They don't drop Walmarts just anywhere.
Exactly.
Some people are repelled by Walmart, and they're like, I got to move, I can't be near
They
Walmart.
like small stuff.
And that's an opportunity to list. Some people, I got 3 kids, I love Walmart. You put a 48-hour-a-day Walmart next to it. And I'm happy with a drive-through. And so they're attracted to it. And so either way, it tells you something about where the real estate market's going. They're putting 191 proposed homes at Brandywine Village. Those site plans just got approved. Any of this near any of you guys? 165 units was approved at the intersection of Marlboro Park and Woodyard Road for townhouses. And that's it for that. This will be put up there. The key is we've got to start reading and practicing our craft. When football players get done playing and when they get done practicing, what makes the mark is the guys who go back and look at tape. This is our tape. We got to go back after practice, look at the tape. Question?
So where do you get the newsletter?
Good question. I got it off Google.
Google.
MarylandNewsletters.com. Now it says it costs $215 annually, but every one I've read is free.
Well, what they do is the old issues go up like
Right, a month later.
Right, so.
So if you want to pay for it, you can get the brand new one. But this is a month old. I'm sorry, now when I pulled it, it was a month old.
Right.
So you know, it's August, you're going to get June or whatever. But it's still worth better than nothing. That's the first thing. I'm going to post these, but I'd like someone else in here to start posting them. Because I don't want you all to say, well, Jason, we didn't get it.
I get a lot of my information from Richard Bailey. He knows like a lot of he stays, how do you do that, Richard? Because Richard stays in touch with a lot of different organizations.
Richard said, I'm a professional.
Richard reads.
By the way, that FBI, the rendering at Greenbelt, that is available also. It's already available. It's already done. It's already done. It's already designed.
Yeah, they're just stretching this out for other. But here's the other thing. Landover Mall, it doesn't matter which site they pick. The other 2 sites are going to come online for something major. A lot of employees, a lot of people moving out to our jurisdiction means a lot of houses, condos, apartments that need to be sold or leased. Lastly, I did tell Emmerich last time I was here, I said, hey, anyone who can find a more robust training schedule, I'll give them $250. So I did receive training schedules from other realtors. No one came close. As I mentioned when Emmerich was up here, Cut Rate Realty, we won't mention who they are, TriStar, had 16 classes versus our 55. We had more speakers that I could identify. Now, the only reason I didn't identify more speakers is some of the classes just didn't list who spoke them, so I just counted who I could identify was speaking. So I know but we had 344% more classes and training on a monthly basis. This thing is chock full of opportunity. The people who are capping are the people we're seeing. There's a trend that's starting to emerge. I'm in coaching, and they capped. I've been going to this classes, and I capped. And we're starting to see this trend. So 10 years ago, this is my last thing, 10 years ago, I was negotiating something, and I called Emmerich, because Emmerich was my realtor, and what I was negotiating had nothing to do with real estate, but Emmerich had become, by virtue of his relationship and what he brought in terms of value, a trusted advisor across the board. And I said, Emmerich, I'm negotiating this deal, and I'm giving a lot of this, there's a lot of stuff that's up front and being given, and I'm not sure if there's going to be a recoup. And he said something then 10 years ago that to this day I still remember, which is, good people won't let the scales become become unbalanced. Good people naturally balance the scales. If you give, then they'll give back. They won't let it get lopsided. That's how good people do good business. Now, just to tack on to Emmerich's, I'm in the room with Emmerich when he does his graciousness. Pat doesn't know what I'm about to say. And I'm like, cut him, forget him. And he's like, nah, we're gonna take the high road, this, that, or the other. Good people balance the scales. Our sole commitment for the last 10 years has been for y'all's success. If we make y'all successful and help make y'all successful, the success will naturally come our way. And that's what's brought us to the #1 position. But the key thing to remember is that's what's gonna keep us #1 for the next 10 years, is being vested in your success. But we also need y'all to be vested as well. Not only in our success as a brokerage, but in your fellow teammates who are members here's success. Because to a T, the last 10 or 12 people who come up here who've capped have said the exact same thing. I want to thank my teammates, so-and-so, and so-and-so, and so-and-so, who answered my questions and helped me grow. And so the only way we're gonna be successful individually or collectively is if we're successful collectively. So find someone to partner with, to do power calls, find someone to partner with to figure out a complex transaction, find someone like Lorraine did to go down, Lorraine and Zena did, to go down to the Parks and Planning and do something new, even though they said, hey, we didn't even know what we were asking for, and we got all this information, and bring it back. Question?
Yeah, just, August 26th, the group for biz now, we're gonna be